You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm my friendship.
You know what time it is. You roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. It's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin, excited to be here, excited to be a Buckeye, excited to be a national champion, excited to be the #1 team in the nation, excited that we have Julian Sand as our quarterback, who is now officially in the top 10 for the Heisman race. What's up, everybody in the chat? Mika, nice to see you in the chat. Always love seeing you in there. Mike Green, my dude. The Natural, what's good, brother? Bucks forever, win, stars, and joys. Appreciate you guys for joining me. I'm supposed to be at a softball game right now, but they canceled it on me. So I decided to rush back here, jump on, do a show. I got some updates on the recruiting side of things. And I know that's not like a hot topic right now, but there are a select few in Buckeye Nation like myself that stay obsessed with it because it's the future of this program. The unfortunate thing about it that's made recruiting a little less popular is, nil. And the changes that they've made. I mean, even for me to get recruiting intel, I mean, recruits can tell me something, can tell me, hey, I'm going to sign with Ohio State. And then 2 hours later, that's different. Why? Because teams can just offer the bag, right? We already know all that. But still here, I'm still always going to follow it. I've told you before, because of my past and my history, what I've been through, and worked for a ministry for a long time that helped teenagers and young men that were struggling in life. I love connecting that aspect of my past in Jesus to this recruiting side of things. So I love getting to know these players and their families and see the background that they came out of and see where they are now in life. It's success stories, right? Because unfortunately, right, I got to see some success stories working, in a rehab essentially. But for the most part, man, it was a lot of, addiction is a hard thing to overcome, right, for a lot of people. So it was a lot of, right, it felt like failed attempts at the time. But my job was to plant that seed, that faith seed of Jesus. And, hopefully it grows and sprouts. Sometimes I got to see that. Sometimes I didn't. But I connect that to this. I love seeing young men in today's world succeed. I just love it, right? Because they're our future. And there's so many distractions in this world that can pull a teenager or young men away from their goals and their dreams. And to see these recruits, these top recruits in the nation, how focused they are, it's really encouraging to see. And it motivates me and it helps me to stay on the right course as well. And it's just cool to see, right? Recruits doing well and the family and the support that they have around them and help them succeed. And unfortunately, there's some people that don't look at it that way, and they spend a lot of their times saying certain things about these kids that I don't necessarily like, not a fan of all the time. But either way, that's the world we live in. You will have that sometimes. So as we know, Buckeyes, the Minnesota game, it was a night game, one of the very few home night games that we have this year. So Tinker, be quiet. Do not chew on the cord. Sorry. I named my dog Tinker, by the way. One of the few opportunities the Buckeyes had to get a lot of recruits down here, and that they did. They got some 2026 targets in for a visit. A lot of 2027 guys, some 2028 guys as well. Not going to go over all of those. I'm just going to focus on the 26 guys right now. The first one, Amari Latimer, told you guys he was there. That's the 6 foot, 200-pound running back, the Wisconsin commit. Was told that visit went very, very well. And the Buckeyes here, they're putting a lot of pressure on this. I wouldn't call it pressure, but they're looking for a quick flip. They're looking to get this one done early. They would love to have Favor Akee and Amari Latimer in this class. I've yet to look at his film and go over it, but with his size, and I've heard the physicality that he runs with, and I want 2 running backs in this class, right? We see what happens when we miss on running backs, when we only sign running back. We see what happened with Tony Alfraud in this room, the situations that he's put us in. We see this year, this situation, the recruiting, right? The running back misses that we've had are affecting us this year. We are now having to rely on a true freshman to be our number one carrier on the team. So, recruiting, it affects teams a lot. It's the lifeblood of programs. And, I would rather us bring somebody in with the potential, because not a highly rated running back, but I don't look at that. Isaiah West wasn't a highly rated running back last year either. And when he got in the game, he got in, ran the ball one time. I want you to go watch that. And you tell me if you think he's more explosive than James Peoples and CJ Donaldson, because I do. He looked very explosive. And again, I think that he needs some more snaps. So adding a second running back to this class surely would not hurt. Create more competition in the room, so on and so forth. Next one, Micah Champ Smith, the offensive lineman that when Coach Fry was here, had a really good relationship with him, really favored the Buckeyes. I actually spoke with him, and things were going very, very well. And then, obviously, Coach Fry left, but Coach Bowen kind of picked that back up, but not quite as much as Coach Fry did, right? But ultimately, what happened is this came down to money. UCLA came in with a big old bag, offered it to him, and he took it. So if you ask my opinion, this is the same situation, right? We have a very good offensive line class. So Ohio State is not going to pay Micah as much as other schools would be willing to pay them. They already have a really good offensive line class. So they're not going to go out and pay him probably what UCLA is even offering him right now, right? So we'll see. Don't have a lot of confidence there. Dre Quinn, right? The former Clemson defensive end commit. Not hearing a lot about how that visit went. It was really hard to get any intel off of that one. And I think it's because the only thing I did hear, and this makes sense, is that he's taking his time, right? Dude just decommitted, and he plans on taking several more visits. So not a lot of fire out of that visit or anything, but we will see. I want to remind you guys, because I think I did forget to do this. Can you hit that like button for me? Pause real fast, hit the like button. That goes a long way, man. Super chats, they're up and running. You guys know if you're on the Buckeye Boys channel and you make a super chat, it goes towards Teen Challenge and to homeless veterans. And if you're on the Buckeye channel, it goes to help out veterans. So all the same, super chats go to good causes, and subscribe as well. Subscriptions to the Buckeye Boys and the Scoop channel help out as well to get the shows in front of way more people. So all of that support would be greatly appreciated. Where are we at? But yeah, Dre Quinn, obviously, Kari Wilder was at the game, and he's the defensive lineman in this class that's closest to a defensive end. But he is not your speed rusher type of defensive end. He's 260 already, and it would be, yo, what up, Craig? Nice to see you in there, brother. I just find it hard to believe the dude's not going to be 280, 290 after he gets into this, the Buckeye program, because he's at 260 in a high school, weight room program already. And that's not to say that the Buckeyes can keep that weight down on school. You're already at 260, moving the will still be a dominant defensive lineman right now. If Matt Patricia's here, that's perfect, okay? Because you see the way Caden Curry's being utilized. Kari Wilder has to be drooling at the mouth to get involved in this Matt Patricia defense because, dude, I mean, he is dynamic. He's versatile. It's going to be exciting to get him on the team. But, you know, the Buckeyes are turning up the heat big time at the defensive end position. There will be more names added to this list that are names that people have not even brought up yet. They haven't talked about. Just by happenstance, I happened to, get that information a while ago. So you'll see that name will pop up, and we'll see. I expect the Buckeyes to make some big time moves there. I think the Luke Wafel thing is waning a little bit. I do. My confidence went up that the Buckeyes were going to swoop in there. Now it's gone back down. USC got pretty upset with him for being in contact with Ohio State. So I think that kind of slowed things down quite a bit. So we'll see what the Buckeyes do at the defensive end position. But next one, Curry, the linebacker, visited Oklahoma, used to be committed to Northwestern. The visit went well. The good thing about this visit is we're not getting a lot of, hey, this is a money recruitment here. This kid is not going out and looking for the biggest bag, which means I think that he fits the Buckeyes perfectly. I think this is just a good old-fashioned recruitment. He's looking for the development. He's looking for the relationships. He's looking for the culture. And I think he is going to take his time in making his decision. So out of those first four that we talked about, I would say if we see a flip soon, I would go with Amari Latimer as the quickest flip that we could possibly see, adding another one to this running back room. But the one that I have the most confidence in, my confidence, I told you guys this yesterday. I rated them on who I thought would commit to the Buckeyes, my confidence level. And I said, Kamari Bang was number one. I thought that the Buckeyes, the visit went really well. Matt G, with the way he's been communicating with him, with the things he's told him, that relationship is going very well. Hey, I'll be right back. I got to let this dog out. She's going crazy. You're just a pain in my butt. Yes, go. Okay, sorry. My brother's Chihuahua was up here, and they're not friends yet. And Tinker keeps chasing my brother's Chihuahua, Silas, around everywhere, and Silas is not a fan, so I had to let Silas go. You need to leave Silas alone. He doesn't like you yet. Anyway, here we go. Where was I at here? Oh, Kamari Bing. Just decommitted from Maryland, right? Was committed to Maryland. 2 days off of his Ohio State visit, he decommitted. He said that, the Buckeyes are beating Maryland right now, essentially. The Buckeyes have taken the lead in this recruitment, but he's still got an Alabama visit, right? He's supposed to visit Indiana. He is not going to make his decision till signing day. And I will say this, the one thing about this recruitment that is giving me a little bit of pause is that in all of his interviews, he says, right, like for instance, for the Alabama ones, he says, we'll see if Alabama can beat Ohio. Like he said, Maryland needs to step their game up with him. So he's talking in a way like it's making me a little nervous. Like this is just a numbers thing. Now, I've not spoken with him, not spoken with his family or anything, but just reading the tea leaves from the outside, I'm curious. And that's just the reality of it, right? Anymore, I don't judge either way. If a recruit wants to put that as number one, that's what it is. That's their business. More power to you. You're in that position. You think that's the best decision, then go for it, right? That's how you learn in life. You stand on a decision that you make and you face the consequences of that decision. So, if that's what they want to do. But I would love to add this kid to our safety class. Go watch his film. Doesn't pop off like you might think, but the instincts this kid has, I really like him at the safety position. And Matt Guerrieri really loves him. So that's route. Pretty good comment there, bud. I'm not going to read it, but everybody else can read it. Anyway, so there we go. Those are the updates on the 2026 recruits in this class. There will be more names. Landry Breed is another one. The current NC State commit on the offensive line, the Ohio offensive lineman. And we see now, hopefully, this Buckeye coaching staff, and I think Coach Bowen does, because you see how he's trying to lock down, going after Adam Guthrie, going after Landry Breed, got Maxwell Riley, got Sam Greer. Like, man, offensive linemen out of the state of Ohio playing for Ohio State, man, they're mean, dude. They're mud dogs, dude. They get in there, they get gritty, they get mean, and those are the type of offensive linemen that I love. The gritty, play after the whistle. Phillip Daniels is my favorite offensive lineman on this team. I love the way he plays. He's from Ohio. That just seems to be I can kind of relate, right? If the Buckeyes called me and they said, hey, Devin, I need you to come be on kickoff, okay? Number one, I would say yes. And number two, I would literally probably risk my life sprinting down the field trying to take somebody's head off and end up breaking a bone or something. Why? Because that's how psycho I am about Buckeye football. I love it. I just have that passion. I'm not even a football player. I'm probably not any good, all that stuff. But just imagine the passion that you have as a fan. Imagine if you were really good at football and Ohio State wanted you to play for them. You think that passion would leak out onto the field a little bit? Right? Would it? Answer that, right? The passion that you have as a fan, if you were a really good football player in high school and the Buckeyes were recruiting you and you signed with them, would that passion translate on the field and maybe give you a little bit more juice when you're out there in the field from time to time? Because you know the fans, when they watch you, you know that you do something wrong, boy, they're going to call you out on it. You can't play no games. So, Bucks Forever 65. Yeah, Luke's up there too, man. I mean, it's hard, but I just like Phillips' play style. Austin Saraveld is growing on me a lot as well. I did go back and watch the film, and I'll say this. Josh Padilla, I didn't even realize how many snaps that he got in place of Tegra, but I did watch Tegra in that game, and man, I just wish it would click for him. I don't know what it is. He's so big, bro. He has like the dude could be an absolute star. I don't get it. There's sometimes some plays where looks like he's just not trying. It looks like he just gives up. It really does. I don't get it. And then the other times when it looks like he's trying, he dominates. So I don't know. But that's a position for us Buckeye fans to keep an eye on. You know, I did predict Ethan Anianwa was going to take his spot. Now I don't know, but I do predict that somebody else will be in that right guard position come playoff time. That's what I believe. And maybe they'll do some rotating or whatnot, but I don't know. They got to do something. Maybe, I was thinking it would give him that extra boost, that extra drive when they see that when he sees snaps being taken away from him. But the same thing happened last year, right? Like they rotated him in and out, and nothing changed. And they're doing the same thing this year, and it just I don't know. I can't explain what it is, but if you go back and rewatch the game, watch the all 22 film and whatnot, you can see what I'm talking about. Josh Padilla got in there. He did well. Obviously, his first time playing at the right guard position, but he did well for that. Got shoved back a little bit from time to time, but needs to work on the strength a little bit. But Josh Padilla's ceiling is very, very high in this program, and he's going to be a big-time contributor to this offensive line. But what I want to bring up now, I want to hint at something. And this is a good time to make this announcement. I see Ian Bates in the chat. What up, my dude? Ian will be joining me for a show tomorrow, right? He joined the show the other day. It seemed like everybody in the chat loved his insight, loved the conversation we were having. Mello, as you know, took a job that kind of screws with his hours a little bit, so he can't always be on. Mello is still a part of this show, always will be, always has free access to join any show that he wants to join. That's my dude. That's my brother. He always will be. But, real life sometimes. We do this for fun. So, if he's got a job, then that is more important than this show. So, but we'll see. Ian's going to come on. We're going to go with the flow. We'll try to do a show a week with him, see where that leads. Might lead to more shows, might lead to less. We got to see if he even enjoys it, because there's things about coming on and doing a show that you don't really realize before you do it, that you learn along the way. And you can either, you're going to get criticized, you're going to have haters, can you handle that? Can you not handle it? Right? I don't even know if I do anymore. I ignore it most of the time, but every once in a while, I buck up a little bit and get a little crazy on here. But let me hint at something. We're going to talk about a couple things tomorrow. We're going to talk about this transfer portal class. We're going to break as we picked in the transfer portal this year that are successes on this team, and the ones that we feel maybe a little middle ground there. We haven't decided yet. Are they a success? Are they a failure? And the ones that we feel are leaning more towards, hey, we failed at this transfer portal pickup. Obviously, we're only through 5 games. A lot of season left to go. Some of these transfer portal guys have more than 1 year of eligibility. So, right, we don't know whether they're going to stay with the program and work their way up. But we'll dive into that. The other thing we're going to dive into is Julian Sam, right? Ian's got to have a bunch of stuff on that. It really opening people's eyes to how good this dude is really playing. Okay, so he's now on the Heisman watch list, number 10, according to On3. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? Mika says I'm breaking up a little bit. Is anybody else having that issue? Can you guys hear me good? I don't want to continue talking if it's on my end. I'm back now. Okay, we're good now. That's weird. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, Julian Sam, right? We'll break it down more tomorrow and really help you guys realize the type of season that he's having, and the fact that we could have him, that we're going to have him next year and possibly the year after that as well. And this is his first time starting. So what we're seeing now is probably Julian. Let me ask you, chat, what percentage of his ability do you think we're seeing him at? If 100%'s the top of his ceiling, the roof line, right? What do you think we're seeing out of him? I give him 70%. I think by the time Julian leaves here, we're going to be able to watch these first 5 games and watch his last 5 games and easily say the dude got 30% better. The dude has got a lot better. So that's scary. I don't want to dive into that too much because we're going to get into that tomorrow. But on the quarterback note, right, recruiting wise, let's talk about this for a second. The 2026 class, quarterback was something that was slowly developing, right? We were concerned there, not concerned, but we got Tavian Sinclair. Then we picked Brady Edmonds up in the 2027 class, and we were like, well, what quarterback's going to want to come in? Most people assumed the Buckeyes wanted to go just get a filler, right? Just get somebody to fill this because you want to take a quarterback every class. And most people assumed that that's what we did. Most people assumed that signing Luke Fahey because of his rating, that the Buckeyes were just filling a void. Well, if you haven't heard, and I'm going to tell you now that is not what was done. They signed Luke Fahey because they believe he has the potential to be a starting quarterback at this program. And if you are paying attention to what Luke Fahey is doing in his senior season, I think you will see that. He is you'll see a pattern here, by the way. Julian saying his accuracy, Luke Fahey, just in his last game. The last game he played was 23 for 25, threw for 333 yards, 5 touchdowns, and rushed for 33 yards on 4 attempts, playing in big-time football in California. He's not playing against bums, and he's been doing this. Okay, so wherever you have Tavian St. Clair, certain type of quarterback, very athletic, won the Elite 11 accuracy challenge, so very accurate quarterback as well. But Luke Fahey's up there as well as far as throwing the football. So don't get it twisted, all right? Luke Fahey is coming in here to win this starting quarterback job. And if you haven't watched his newest highlights, go watch him. Ryan Day is elite at, he's had his misses from here and there, but even Kyle McCord, he just didn't fit into the program, but had a very good arm, was a very good passer of the football, but you can't win them all, right? But Ryan Day's ability to go out and find quarterbacks that the rest of the nation is not hip to, he has a different list of attributes that he's looking for than these rating services are. I promise you that. CJ Stroud, remember where he was rated when the Buckeyes first got in on him and where he ended up being rated? Luke Fahey, right? What is he? They don't even have him ranked as a top 200 player in the nation, and he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. So shout out Ryan Day and this coaching staff and their ability to evaluate these recruits at the quarterback position and go out and get these quarterbacks that sometimes the rest of the nation isn't even hip to, right? Another case in point, Brady Edmonds, okay? Started off super highly ranked, has been dropping down the list a little bit, but the Buckeyes took his commitment super early, and that should have let you know something right there, because he, in his last game, was 22 for 24, 381 yards with 7 touchdowns. Okay? And please, if you do one thing tonight, go find Brady Edmonds' highlights to his last game, because I kid you not, in one of his highlights, I don't know why I didn't pull it up. Very stupid of me. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can do that real fast. Bear with me, y'all. You got to see this play. You got to see it. It's at the goal line. He's going in. This is it. All right. Sorry. Just bear with me. Here we go. Share screen. Brady Edmonds, share. Get down. Blow this thing up. Y'all ready for this? Where am I at? All right. Watch this. Watch this, dude. Broke tackle. Missed him. Comes up again. He says, "Get off me, little dude. Let me throw this in here on a string," and score a touchdown. That's ridiculous. Watch it again. "Get off me, little dude. I got a touchdown to throw." I mean, that's ridiculous. He's a Buckeye, right? He's a Buckeye. I love it. He posted that on his X page and just typed weight room on it. I freaking love it, dude. So, got a lot of good things going on in recruiting. The future of this Buckeye program. Ryan Day has this program in Alabama type of fashion, and he may even outdo that. Those are some big words right there. But last thing I want to touch on recruiting, as far as 2027 goes, there's a Buckeye boy, Ronaldo Perez, defensive end out of Ohio. He's a 4-star. Had him on the show. I talked to him from time to time. His last game, he had 2 sacks. The relationship between him and Larry Johnson is going very, very well. And the dude is getting better and better and better. He's not an Ohio State lock. He's keeping his options open. But the Buckeyes are doing really, really good at not treating him like an Ohio recruit, right? There's a lot of times you guys have heard me say, we got to stop how we used to recruit Ohio players. Ohio players need to be our number one priority now. It seems that Larry Johnson is treating Ronaldo Perez as a top priority in this class, just like he would a national recruit that he's going after. And I love that. Ronaldo Perez is going to be a big-time player. He's going to be a big-time defensive end out of the state of Ohio. Don't know if he stays the defensive end position. He's already getting pretty big. He's got the lower body to put on some more weight. So going to be a recruitment to keep an eye on. We will have all the updates here in the Buckeye Boys. He will be back on the show probably multiple times throughout his recruitment. So stay here if you want to hear what he has to say about his recruitment instead of reading a bunch of articles about it. But all right, y'all, that's it. That's all I got. Stay tuned for tomorrow for me and Ian's first show. Again, reminder, we're going over the transfer portal class. I'm going to break that down. So a little bit of homework for you in the chat. Go back, refresh your memory on this year's recruiting class and grade them out for us, right? Grade them out, 10 being successful, the most successful they could possibly be. 1, obviously, being that exact opposite. So put a number beside each one of these transfer portal guys that we picked up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to grade them 5 games into this season. Got a lot of football left to play, so our grades are not like final or anything. We're just going to talk about where we are. And we're going to break down Julian Sain's season so far, where he stands compared to some other past Ohio State quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud, for instance, that is held in very high regards. So we'll break that down as well. But, oh, we got a super chat. I almost missed it. Thank you so much, Cyber Nerd, for the $20. Heck yeah, this is my favorite OSU show as a 20-year veteran. Thank you for your support to veterans. For sure, man. I have the utmost respect for veterans and what they do for this country. It's just, you know, I'll never be able to fully comprehend everything veterans do. I try, but I've never been in that situation. So I just have the utmost respect for veterans and will always do everything I can for them because, you know, they give their life for this country, and that is the ultimate sacrifice, and they need more support, and they need more support from, you know, citizens like myself, everyday citizens. That's what I believe anyway. But appreciate you guys for watching. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Go support the Buckeye Boys channel so we can start getting more money flowing in there so we can give it back to you guys, give away tickets, the natural. We got to get natural. We got to get you on the show, brother, so you can give a testimony on how that worked out for you, how winning the free ticket, if it was worth getting those trivia questions right, because I'm trying to give away a playoff ticket, but I need your guys' help. But on that note, appreciate you guys for watching. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH. I